Good morning, it's Raven Scry coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. There's some sun this morning, which is really nice. I'm really enjoying it, connecting in with spirit. Let me know where you guys are listening from. Whereabouts in the world are you tuning in from? So this morning, I connected in with spirit and just was like, okay, what are we wanting to do a video about? And I felt quite drawn into the crypto space and to just connect into spirit and just download whatever they were wanting to share about it and what's to come. Now, I know in previous videos, or there was one quite recently, speaking about a time period for crypto that's coming up that is, quite a lower area that could be a possible good spot to buy some crypto. Of course, this is never financial advice. Do your own research, follow your own heart. But I just offer what Spirit gives through my channel. Okay, so as I connect, straight away, Spirit is talking about the stock market and some sort of drop here. They're talking about a surprise. There's some surprise around this. They show me like a cross, which often a cross is significant for a no for me, like yes and no, ticks and crosses. But I also feel a connection here with Elon Musk and that whole X story, with Twitter, that sort of comes into that. So whether he's got some connection in there or not, I'm just going to leave that with you. He seems to waft into the readings now and again, so I'll just give it as I get it. Now I'm hearing wildfires across the land, talking about burning out the seeds for new growth and regeneration. Now I also hear there is a sequence of events coming which will act as a final release of the old, almost acting like some sort of a dispersion of energy across the earth. Now, they say we wish to show you some factors coming into play. Now, firstly, they speak of the north, talking about flames will engulf the people. Now, in the way it feels, it's like creating this inability to move or to travel, some sort of restricted access, constricted travel. And they also speak about the south, like they're referencing norths and souths, and they speak about the south time standing still. They talk about many will be surprised in the change that's taking place here. And they're referencing now separation from families and delays in some way. I'm shown airports and people travelling and this congestion here. It's reminding me of the period of the COVID lockdown. In the way that it's coming through. Now, I'm not saying that's, what's coming, but there is this delay with travel and restriction in movement that's quite clearly coming through. Now, this is also reminding me of a previous reading talking about the congestion in the system. There is this kind of feeling with the restriction here, inability to move. It almost is mirroring this other reading. So if you feel to, go back to look at the previous reading around this, and this is very much connected into 2024 as well. So I'll just move along now, and they show me a larger scene of energy taking place on Earth at this time, and a sequence of events taking place. Now, I ask about this sequence of events. They keep drawing my attention to a delay in time, causing areas some restriction of movement, and this is playing out very literally with people in airports again, but also there are larger energies and forces at play during this time that are coming in as part of whatever's playing out here, restricting movement while other things are moving in other parts of the world. It's like they're almost zooming me further and further and further out to see the bigger picture here. So Spirit is saying you must assert some discipline at this time. They're talking about investing and not investing too much. They're talking about drops incoming. They're talking about stocks falling. Now I'm hearing East Ender randomly coming out of nowhere. I'm just going to leave that there. I don't know whether they're referencing something that's taken place in some part of the world, or please let me know if you have connection to East Ender. But it's interesting too, because they talk about North, they talk about South, and now this is East Ender. Okay, so moving along, people running for the exits after something quite drastic has taken place. You're talking about lower markets. You must see and realize this, some sort of a dump taking place. Now, I'm also hearing frozen assets, and I'm seeing across systems or sectors, and it's like everything has been put on pause. It's frozen, it's not moving, some sort of delay here. Now I am hearing also trouble with the S&P and trouble around stocks. They're talking about a massive energy around this and in the system. And so I ask, well, where will this be leaving crypto? And I just hear further down, lower drop incoming. Now they're drawing my attention to September as being very significant as a place of lows in the market. And so I'm just going to be a little bit cheeky and ask Spirit a few direct questions. Often I'll move back, and almost dance with what they want to give. Sometimes speaking directly to can almost jar the reading, but I'm going to ask them now, well, can you give us reference to the new all-time high? When will that be? And I am getting quite clearly, and I mean all-time high for crypto, Bitcoin, I am getting quite clearly a 5 coming in. I feel as though it's referencing 2025. But they draw my attention to September being important in regards to lows in the market. And there's also a date that they're giving me, October the 4th, something significant taking place there. So moving along to the all-time highs, all-time high 2025 is what is coming through at this stage. Now it's interesting because as I connect to information like this, often it's like it flickers, and it's almost like, it's very much about how the world is moving as to the trajectory of what we're going to get. And some people, in a very linear mindset won't like me saying that, but that's just how it is from my view. So all-time highs 2025 at this stage, I will continue to check in with that because it may change. But I ask in regards to prices or numbers around this, and what Spirit can give around all-time highs, what sort of figures we're talking. Now I am getting like an 88k coming in, but I feel as though they're almost giving me a range. In the way the energy is flickering around here, it's like I get 88k, but then I get a 126k also. And so at this stage, they're going to give a range of an all-time high in 2025 as being this. Now, of course, this may not work out to be what Spirit has given me here, So don't structure your whole life around what I've just said, but really just tune into the synchronicities around what's being shared to see if it really speaks to you and resonates with you and your plan for what you're doing, because that's when you'll really know if something is right for you or not and how it's going to play out. Okay, so the other one I was going to move to, now I know you guys really love the alts and want to know more about the alts, but I'm just gonna go with the two main biggest cryptos for now, and I'm gonna go to ETH, and I'm gonna ask about figures of all-time highs with ETH this time round. Now I'm also getting another 8 reference, 8K, and they're giving me a range, and 8 and then a 17 is coming in here as well. So that's interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to just ask Spirit if they can show me one more significant coin that's quite known, that will show some outstanding gains. Now, the first thing that's coming in is Troll. Now, okay, Troll. I say to Spirit, well, what is Troll? That sounds like a terrible little meme coin. I've never even heard of it. And I'm also getting reference to DeFi, but I'm just going to put that aside. Whoever wants to follow that can, but I'm going to just leave it to the side for now. They talk about something shooting up with Troll, but it doesn't sound that much like a common known crypto, which is what I was asking about, Spirit. So I'm asking again, is there something else that people know of that will do very well? Now what's coming through is Avalanche, and reference to the Avalanche ecosystem also. Avalaunch is what's coming through as well here. Now I ask, well, where can we see Avalanche going? Now I'm quite clearly being given a 16. Now it's a bit confusing as to see how many zeros is on that 16. It's like it's almost flashing a 160 but then a 1600, and to be honest, I'm more strongly drawn to the 1600 figure. It feels stronger, it feels more solidly coming through, but in saying that, I don't want to limit what's being given here, and I want to say a 1.6 is very significant, 16, and yes, could be 1 0, could be 2 zeros, but I'm more drawn to the 1600. Now I also get a 32 within there. It's like doubling from there, like a 3200. But as I'm saying, these zeros are shimmering and flickering. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want to say 1600 to 3200, but I know that this can differ. But what is extremely clear here for me in the way it's come through is the 16 and the 32. So just keep that in mind. But by all means, if we get a 1600 or a 3200 avalanche, great. That's certainly some magical gains coming through there. Now I know it's quite a decent ecosystem, and but there is this sense of energy around it that hasn't been that solid to me in the past. Like I kind of check in with it and I'm like, it's like it's still forming, something's taking place within the whole structure of it and perhaps within the people involved. But I do get quite strongly that there is going to be like a time that there's pretty decent movement there for Avalanche. Now the other thing that they spoke about was Avalaunch, and I feel like they're directing into the ecosystem of Avalanche, and there being some things in there that may be worth investing very small amounts in, because if Avalanche takes off to huge levels, all the little ones could do crazy things. So I'll leave you with that, but Avalaunch came to mind out of one of those. But overall, Avalanche is the one they're pointing me to with the most strength today. Okay, I'm going to ask now, is there anything more that they wish to share for today's reading around crypto? I think we've gone a little bit longer than normal. They're talking about not spending all your funds at once, do things in increments. This will work better for you. It will certainly work out better for you, is what they're saying. And be less emotionally challenging. It's like if you're doing things in smaller increments, they're talking about it being less emotionally challenging, and you must factor in your human self into the plan. And then Spirit laughs, like it's quite funny because we have emotions down here on Earth. Well, good advice, I think, Spirit. Okay, guys, I'm going to wind the reading up there. Thanks, Spirit, for today's connection and information. They seem to have quite a sense of humour. Please let me know your thoughts around what's been shared. I'm sure many of you have many things to say around these details. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear connections and synchronicities that you may have, and also where you are in the world listening from. Take care until next time. Raven Scry signing off.